Hi and welcome to my PlayHouse, and today we're gonna be exchanging some hard drives because well, I have this ESXi host here, and that ESXi host, it has my NVMe drive in there, and I don't use this host as much as I had hoped for because it's not able to use the graphics card. As soon as I mount a graphics card in there and try and use it, it boots. And I haven't figured that out yet. But I have another server over here, number 15 here. And that's the one that I'm actually doing a lot of editing on right now. And it just happens to be that it only has 3 old spinning hard drives. And that's the server that does all the editing of my videos. And well, I think if I replace some drives there, I'll get some better performance. Instead of running from those 3 drives, I want that NVMe drive in there. But to replace the NVMe drive over there, I have this Samsung 850 Pro hard drive that I'm gonna be putting in over here. This is an M4 server, Lenovo x3650 model 4, and I'm going to be putting in this Samsung drive. I've had a lot of questions if this is doable, and yes, it's very doable. I've done it a lot. So yeah, we're going to be putting this in first, then we're going to go to the computer and we're going to move some virtual machines over to another drive in there, and then we will shut down the server, come out here and do the swapping around. We need to go into the BIOS to make this available, I think. We might be able to do it from the IMM adapter. We'll check that out if that is possible. Otherwise, we'll have to shut it down. Well, we have to shut it down anyway because we need to take the NVMe drive out, and that is on a PCI Express card in there. So let's mount this in a tray. This is not the cheapest of the cheapest. These drives are pretty expensive. There is an 860 available now. This one is a little bit on the old side, but I'm guessing that the difference is not that big. So let's see if we can pop this out of here. Let's see what comes in the box. Samsung SSD. This is a 1 terabyte drive. It usually has some manual stuff down here. Let's see. We get a CD, and we get, I think I saw, yeah. I don't want to put these on. Don't need that. But we have the drive here. That's the important part. So let's put this in one of these trays. These are trays that I bought out of China. They are refurbished trays for the Lenovo/IBM servers, and it has 4 screws in there, and they used to be in that little bag. Now they're all over the place in there, so I have to be a little bit careful. There's still 1 screw in that bag. So, but very nicely wrapped. And this is a tray that has come out of a 300 gigabyte SAS drive. So we will remove that label so that we don't get confused. There. And we will mount these. These are regular Phillips head screws. So these drives are very small in these trays. There could easily be 2 of them on top of each other. It would be cool with a little print to put here. A dual RAID on those. That would be cool. So, yep. So this is the Lenovo x3650 Model 4. Used to be an IBM. And this one has been expanded so that it can handle all 16 available drive slots here on the front. It is possible to get one where there's room for 24 drives. Then this part is is changed. It's a total new front for the server, but this one has 16 drives installed. Well, it actually only has 14 because there's 2 empty slots right here. So I'm gonna be putting in this new Samsung drive here next to these 2 480 gigabyte SSDs. I really should go make a label for this one as well, so that I can remember that. So we'll put that in. See if it's checked out. Doesn't look like the server really looks at it. So, okay, we'll go to the computer and see if it sees anything there. Okay, here we are at my computer. Well, right now we are just looking at me, but there we are, my computer. I have opened up vCenter here, and I have the Lenovo x3650 M4 here, and we are looking at this available storage in there. Right now it sees I have a 3 terabyte array, and then there is the 2 480 drives that are in RAID 1, and then there is the NVMe drive. I did go check in the IMM here that it actually does see a drive 2 here. It sees the Samsung disk right there. We can get some more info on it, some hardware information, some firmware thingy, but we can't really do anything with it. I know that in the Lenovo x3650 M5 you're able to configure the RAID from inside the IMM. I do not believe that that's possible here in the M4, unfortunately. Local storage, I think we get in exactly the same place. Yeah, not really anything we can do. Never mind, we need to move some virtual machines away from the NVMe drive, and to know what's on the NVMe drive we need to go onto the NVMe drive. So when we do that, we can see that I have installed, I have a virtual disk here that needs to be moved away. Then there is a ISO file there. I did an install of server 2019. That's also the server that is here. I think we can just delete that. Oh no, we're gonna move it away just to be nice. So let's go back to here and see the server 2019. That is right there. We're gonna right click on that and we're gonna pick migrate there, and we're gonna change storage only. I'm just gonna move it where it's located storage wise. So next, it will figure out the storage we can put it on. We're gonna put it on this slower storage. We're gonna make sure that it's thin provisioning. I always just do that. I'm a cheapskate. So next, and it will be moving that server from the NVMe drive and over to that. Okay, it copied that. That didn't really take long. Now we have this ISO file that I kind of want to save. So we will borrow that. We will move to. Let's see where we can move it to. We'll move it to this iSCSI SAN. We'll put it under inst proc. There, and I should have some Windows Microsoft servers there. And I haven't made a folder for the new one yet, so we are just gonna dump it here in the root folder. So that's moving. That's quite a bit slower. That iSCSI has not been performing well for me. So yeah, then I need to find out what this is. I think this is some legacy stuff that shouldn't really be there. Edit server. I have checked the NVMe is on this server, and there is this management server, which is pretty new. So I've been in here checking edit settings, and this server has 2 hard drives. So the first hard drive, we check that, and it says that it's on the 480 drives, and the second hard drive, that is also on the 480 gigabyte solid state drives. So it's not that one. And then there's the other one, which it could more likely have been this one. But if we go in and check the settings of that one, also the 480 gigabyte SATA SSD, and these 2 480 gigabyte SSD. So it's none of these servers. These other 4 servers are brand new, and I'm pretty sure that I did not put any of those on the SSD. I'll just check that to be totally sure. Okay, I changed browser. Chrome kept kicking me out because of this certificate error. And edit server 2016. Unfortunately, I have made a lot of servers with that name, so I think we're just gonna delete that, because I don't think. Let's see if it let me do that. It did. So far so good. The NVMe drive is available. It's empty, so we should be able to go out there and power down the server. And we might as well do that from in here, so that all the VMs gets shut down in a nice manner. So we have 5 VMs on that server. I wanted to power all of them down at once. Okay, right click, power off. Unfortunately, there is no VMware tools installed, and I do not want to go in there and shut all of those off. So all of the VMs are off. So now we can right click on the host, and we should be able to power off the host as well. So we will shut down our host. It will complain. It will tell it this is okay. We are in control here. Cool. There we are. The host should be powering down. Let's go see if that's true. Okay, the server is blinking here, which means that it's definitely off. So I'll go around the back and unplug all of the cables. So here is inside the M4, and back here we can see that I've been playing with this. I have put in another graphics card in this server. Every time I pass through this graphics card to a virtual machine and power it on, the server reboots, and that gets irritating really fast. So I'm gonna be taking this out, but that's not what this video is about. That is about this riser card over here and the NVMe drive. Right now there is a light diode going on down here on the and then it turned off. Cache controller, but otherwise the server is off. So we're gonna be removing this because it has to go over to the editing server. So here is the card. It's an NVMe drive here. It's a Samsung NVMe SSD 960 Evo drive M.2 that is connected to the server through the PCI Express port. Also up here is a KingDian solid state drive that is connected to the server through the SATA port here. I haven't had it connected in this server. If there is available a SATA port in the M3, I might do that over there. So, but that's that. So I'm gonna be putting in an thingy there. Put that back in. Nothing in here now. And I'm taking this one out as well, but as the video is not about that, well, I'm just gonna do that. So I powered the server back on, and it is also showing a picture over here and a very big reflection from the window. Okay, so helped a bit. I'm gonna be going into the BIOS to make sure to configure that new drive, and well, then we're gonna be going into the M3 afterwards and putting this in. Okay, I have connected to the server here at my computer in the living room, and I am controlling the BIOS here. I have already done this, but I forgot to plug in the microphone, so we'll just see what I did. I went in here under settings, and I went in here adapter and UEFI drivers, and I went down to this, well, this is the RAID controller. So we go in there, we go into the web BIOS, press F, just one there, and let's see, the mouse is good right now, so we can press start on that one. Let's see the RAID controller, it's an M5110, I think it's set. And here we have different virtual drives. The two, let's see if we can get these mouses to add up, kind of. We have the top one, that's a 464 gigabyte drive. That's the two 480 gigabyte drives in that RAID 1. Then we have, oh, that is configured there. And we have a RAID 5 of 4 1 terabyte drives. Then we have some, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 500 gigabyte drives, and those come to a total of 3.176 terabytes, and they are all configured in a RAID 5 as well, as I see it. And then at the very bottom I made this new drive, and that's the 1 terabyte SSD Samsung 850 Pro. That's down here, and it has its own, and it's in a RAID 0. So exit. Exit application. I didn't do any changes this time. So. I have saved changes. So exit setup. Yes. It's gonna be booting. We don't want to wait for that. We're gonna skip ahead. Okay, the server has booted and is now up and running. So let's go into our web sphere here. Server there. Let's see data stores on that server. It does not see that one yet, so we will create a new data store. Let's see what it finds for us. It's gonna be an NVMe create data store, disk alone. Next, do we have a new drive? We actually have two. So it seems like I have the new SSD there, and I also have the 3 terabytes of 500 gigabytes that has never been configured. So we'll pick that one, and we will call this 1 terabyte. That's a good name. Next. Okay, so we can pick VMFS 5, and that will have support for earlier version, or we can pick NVFS 6, which enables advanced format 200 512E and automatic space reclamation support. That sounds pretty good. Let's try that one and see if our machines will run on that. We will use all the available space. Sounds good. Yeah, cool. Next, finish. So we get our new drive there. Awesome. So let's move our machines over to that new drive. Do we need to do that? Not really, but at some point I really want to empty out this drive because, well, it's in a RAID 1. These are rather good and expensive SSDs, and can't really afford to have them in a RAID 1. So yeah, I'll get to that, I'm sure. But that was more or less what we wanted on this server. But let's just move something there to see if this works. Otherwise, it's gonna be irritating next time I need to do something. So let's take this manager here, that one, and let's migrate that. Only the storage. Change storage only. Next. And that will be moved to the Samsung drive. And we will make sure to pick thin provisioning. Next. Finish. So right now those servers are off. I can move them when they're on. It takes a little bit longer, but it's no big deal whatsoever. It's just moving them. So now we can move along to this next machine. This is the editing server here, and right now it's running server 2016. It has one virtual machine on it. That's the one that I use for my editing. I actually have it open right here. So me getting ready to edit the video, you will have already seen this because if you look here, that solid state drive is on the table here. I used it. It's the second video that it's co-starring in. So I'll just save this. And I'll go out of this. Save done, and shut this down. So we'll turn off this virtual machine in a nice way. Make sure I'm the only one on the machine. I also have my awesome editor Core, who is sometimes on the machine, and I do not want to interrupt him. So if he was editing some of my videos, I would not dare to kick him off. Shut down. This is planned. I am planning this other planned. Let's say that this is hardware maintenance planned. Continue. Shut down. Cool. So we can now go. It will be turning on in a shutdown mode here in a second or two. Okay, the server has shut down. We can now take the host and we can shut that off. So we're gonna do that. Power off the host. Shut down host. It's gonna be complaining. I'm gonna say it's okay. This was planned. There. We can see that one only has one disk. And that's those 3 drives in there. So it's shutting down. Let's go into the data center and get ready to reconfigure that. Okay, number 15 here has shut down. So I want to check what drives or any of this. Yeah, these are 300 gigabytes, 10,000 RPMs. So that's why they're not that slow. Let's see if they're all that. Yeah, another 300 gigabytes. So cool. That's it's not as bad as I thought it would be, but I'm gonna go around the back and disconnect this, and we will put in that NVMe drive. Okay, let's take it out here. It's been a while since this one has been out. So here we have my editing server, and it's a Lenovo x3650 Model 3. I don't know if I mentioned that, I might have. And it has a beefy graphics card in here, and that one actually works at the moment. So we'll just have a look at that. This is the NVIDIA Grid card, and it's a K1 card. So we'll just put that over there for just a second. This server has been running for a bit, so it's a bit dusty inside. I see that we don't need to go down there anyway. Okay, so we'll put that back in. Okay. So next to the Grid card, we have an empty writer card here. There. And this is the standard one that comes with the Lenovo x3650 Model 3, 2 PCI Express ports, X8s, but they are great for what we just need them to. So we'll just pop this one out and pop this one in. This is only an X4, so there is room to spare. There. We could connect this to the CD-ROM drive and get this other SSD connected as well. But I have another idea that I want to try. So let's unplug this, and then I have a cable like this that goes into the RAID controller. Now that we only have 4 drives in this server, there is an available port here right there. So we can pop that in to that port, and we should be able to take one of these ports and put it in there, and that way we don't need to take the CD-ROM drive out of here. So I'm gonna see if this will work. I see that these cables has numbers, so I'll put it in number 1. That's a good choice. Number 1 here. Pop that in. Never tried this before, so it's gonna be a first for me too. So okay, that looks something like this. That is connected here, goes over to the RAID controller there. Let's go see if that works. We have to go into the BIOS to configure this. Also, this has a little USB stick right there. I have no idea if we are running off that USB stick or if we are running off the hard drives. I really don't remember, but I'll meet you in the BIOS. The first time you boot a Lenovo x3650 Model 3 after the power has been off, do expect that it's not that fast. It's very thorough to make sure that everything is as it should be, and I have pressed F1 here to enter the BIOS, and we will be there in just a second. It black screens, and then we get the splash screen again here, and then it will say F1 here, and we'll be in there. So same thing, we go in settings, but back then the adapter and the Wi-Fi drivers was down here, and it's a double thing, and we have to move a bit further down. LSI card there, web BIOS. Normally the mouse doesn't work in this. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't work. So I have a Hewlett-Packard mouse. I really should get a Lenovo mouse. Yeah, now that works. The RAID controller in here is an M5015, a really good RAID controller for this server. Let's start. And that RAID controller is able to handle larger than 2 terabyte drives. So let's see what we have here. We have a 300 gigabyte drive here. That is, well, it's yellow because it has some predictive failures. Let's see what it says. It has a previous fail count 1. So it has, at some point in time, it has been bad. So apparently it has been working great for me for really long time, so I don't think I want to do anything about that. We have that new SSD right there. That's an unconfigured good. Awesome. We'll get that. That's almost too easy, right? Configuration wizard. We will add a configuration. Next. That's gonna be a manual configuration. We are not gonna be no redundancy. We only have that one, so not much redundancy we can do on that. And we have it here. It's 200 and something, 222 gigabytes. So we'll add that to array. There. We'll approve that. Next. We have to add it to span. Next. It sees it. We want the total size of that, so update size. The size will move over here, 222 gigabytes. Nice. We'll leave everything else as default. Agree. Accept. Sorry. Blah blah blah. Yes. And next. Accept. Yes. It is possible to enable SSD caching on the following drive. And there is no drives, so... Oh, it does actually see something. Let's... Enable? What does it say? Failed! Okay. Never mind then. Yes. And we should be done. So now we have RAID 5 of about 556 gigabytes and a SSD of 222. Boom. Cool, that's what we wanted. The NVMe drive, we will be able to see that directly in VMware. It doesn't go through the RAID controller here, so we don't need to configure that here. Close application, blah blah blah. Yes. We will go out of the BIOS. We'll go down and save settings. Exit setup. Yes. And the server will boot for us, and we will meet up at the computer. Okay, we are back at the computer, and the server has booted out there. I have accessed it through the IMM adapter here, and we can see that this one has two Intel Xeon x3650s, and those are 2.67 gigahertz. It has 124 gigabytes of RAM. So very nice. Let's minimize that. The server complains over here, and it says down here that it has a bad hard drive. And that's the predicted failure that we saw out there. I really should change that. That should be an interesting video at some point, I'm sure. But I don't want to break my editing server, so I would actually be very happy to move that virtual machine away from there before I replace that drive. So, okay, let's go back to vCenter here and see if our server is up and running. It's actually up and running here. We only have that one drive right now still, so we need to go in here and see our new drives. There, we will configure a couple of new drives. So that's gonna be an NVFS as well. Next, and it sees our two drives. Awesome. First we have the little SSD KingDian. It was something that was given to me. Let's make this available. Let's make a drive out of that. Use all available partition. You betcha. Make a drive out of that. So a new drive here. Next, we'll call this 500 gigabyte in Samsung NVMe. Yeah. Next, not the same amount of options on this, That's probably because this server is running an older version of VMware. It's running VMware version 6. The other one we were dealing with was 6.5, so probably that's some options that were there. So let's go into the storage, and we will have to delete this. Can we delete that right there? Okay, probably not important, but I do need to remove that again. Okay, that's gonna be... I'll handle that later. Rename, there's a good one. Let's call this... It's a 550 GB M.2 SSD. There. Okay, so now I want my editing server. Let's there we have. Right now this is grayed out. I'm not able to move this server when it's on, apparently. This I'm able to move. That one is on disk 1. So I'll have to turn this server off and then move it. So we will do that. Let's power it off. I can shut down guest OS on this one. It has the VMware tools installed. That's there. It just powered off. So let's right click and we will migrate, and we will just migrate the storage only. Next. The reason I didn't just migrate this server to the new server is because of that graphics card in there. That actually kind of works. And when I say kind of works, that means that when I'm editing video, it uses the graphics card. When I render out the video, it crashes the server. So I am not currently rendering out the video using the graphics card, but I am using it when I'm editing. So we will put it here, and we will make sure to use thin provisioning. It's very expensive storage there, and we will press next on that. So now my editing virtual machine should be moving over there as soon as I press finish. Okay, and hopefully it's quick. Might not be, those spinning drives are not that quick. Okay, this takes a bit to copy over, so we'll be back when it's done. Okay, it is done moving that data over, and I didn't stay for it. Look at it. So now this should, let's see. Hard drive 1, Samsung NVMe, hard drive 2, Samsung NVMe. There is quite a bit of data on this server, so it took a while to copy that over. So we can power that on. I would expect this would work fine. So and it should boot very quickly now. I will go and I'll do a remote session to my server there. Let's see if it's up and answering. I might have been a bit too quick. Oh, it's all good. Cool. And I'm on it. Let's see if my video... I am about to be editing number 681. Okay. Okay. That seemed very quick. And let's see if it still remembers that I have a graphics card in here. System. Check GPU. CUDA available. Okay. So that works as well. Nice. Okay, I got the drives moved around. Took a bit longer than I had anticipated, but I also got that KingDian SSD up and running, and that wasn't a part of the plan. I was actually thinking about taking that out of there, but well, I have nothing better to use it for, so it's in the server as well. I need to remind you to give this video a like in this video, because I see the likes is going down, so please like it up. Light it up. So, but I hope this is going to be a big benefit when editing video. Faster response, faster render times. It should be quite a bit faster than those 300 gigabytes, of which one of them is actually acting up with a predicted failure, previous failure. So well, I hope this is going to be a win-win-win. So thank you very much for watching my videos. Do subscribe to my channel so that you can see me again, and have a really nice day. Bye bye.